What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Lakers are gearing up and prepping for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And one of the things that they got to prep for is Anthony Edwards, right? If you can slow down Anthony Edwards, you're probably winning the series, right? Like, he's their offensive engine. He's their guy that go get 50 on any given night, right? And, look, Anthony Edwards is gifted enough. He's going to get his. But it's how modest can you keep him? Like, big difference between him dropping 30 on, 25 attempts and him dropping 30 on 12 attempts. Right? It's a big gap. And a lot of times that can be the difference between you winning or losing a game, right? Because he's taking more shots. He's not efficient. It's taken away from other guys, right? Like, it just, you really kind of give yourself more of an advantage. You see guys like Jared Vanderbilt's ready to lock in, clamp down stuff. But how do the Lakers prepare for Anthony Edwards, right? Because you don't have an Anthony Edwards on their team. Well, they're using Bronny James and Shake Milton as like the, Anthony Edwards, stand-in. And it's funny because I've seen kind of like these mixed, reactions and stuff about it. And look, it's great, right? Especially Bronny. Like, Shake Milton, obviously, he's a bucket getter. He's a guy that can score the basketball. We've seen it. He's a guy, I've talked about it. He's a guy that I could see having like a Lonnie Walker moment where he just goes off for 18 or something like that, changes the game, right? Bronny James, obviously, not there yet as far as like that gifted scorer, that bucket getter, but he does have the speed and athleticism that, you see from Anthony Edwards. So I do like the idea of kind of having those two different areas kind of being your Anthony Edwards. Now, it's not this like I feel I've seen a lot of like just comments and people talking about it. It's not as like what people try to make it out to be, like, oh man, we're getting cooked if we're prepared. No, it's just to prepare for actions and stats. Hey, Anthony Edwards likes to get here, and here and do X, Y, and Z. Bronny has the foot speed and the ability to get to those spots similar to Anthony Edwards. No one is looking at Bronny James as Anthony Edwards or Shake Milton as Anthony Edwards, but it's just using them, right, as, similar ability, similar height, similar attributes to prep and know, okay, this is how we're going to attack this here. When he gets here, Bronny, get to this spot as fast as you can, right? Boom, he gets to the spot. Boom, we're here. We're doing X, Y, and Z. It's just, you're just running and prepping and working on the things that you need to work on for postseason because you're going to get these different looks. The Lakers, they have tape on Anthony Edwards versus the Lakers and versus other teams that they can look and go, okay, here's the 5 areas on the court that are Anthony Edwards' preferred spots, right? We need to contain these areas. Here are the efficiencies in each area. And this is how we're going to attack position A, position B, position C, position D, position, and so on and so forth. You kind of just go down the line and you work on prepping, and, each day is like a different thing. Obviously, they have to worry about other players. Obviously, they have to worry about other things. But if you can wear down Anthony Edwards or just like essentially take him out of a game, you're probably winning those games. Jaden McDaniels, yeah, could he have a game here randomly, but he's not going to do it 4 times in a series enough to where he's like, they're going to beat you, right? It's about, can we play Rudy Gobert off the floor and can we contain Anthony Edwards? If you do those two things, the Lakers will win this series, and they'll win it pretty handily. Like, Lakers might win this in like 4 or 5 if they can do those things effectively enough, right? Like, you got to be able to get Rudy off the floor, get Anthony Edwards to be pedestrian or as pedestrian as possible, right? Even Mike Conley to an extent, because he's like the real playmaker. They don't like Dante DiVincenzo is more of a scoring guard than he is like a playmaker and stuff. So if you can kind of, put the pressure on them, evaluate, work on the things. All it is just about getting reps and using a stand-in, right? Like, you and me could do it and be Anthony Edwards, right? But one, it helps when you have a guy like Bronny who is quick, moves well, athletic, can explode, right? Yes, he doesn't have the scoring prowess and the abilities that Anthony Edwards has, but he does have some of the attributes, and particularly the athleticism, right? Shake Milton is a guy that can shoot over the top, score the basketball, be a little crafty with the basketball, as we've seen. So it just gives you these different looks to where it's like, okay, now let's work on this. Okay, Shake, you're on this side. I want you in position C. Right, Shake's on position C, and now they're closing out and trapping, and Shake's a guy that has the capability to score and apply the pressure to the defense a little bit to make them work, right? Like, okay, so you can kind of start to simulate these types of scenarios in order to put your team in the best position for once the time comes, right? Lakers' first game is going to be here before we know. We're going to wake up and it's going to be like, wow, okay, here we are, Lakers basketball, right? So Lakers need to get as many reps and opportunities and preps and stuff, right? Like, you don't have a guy, it'd be nice if you had, but even then, like, even if you had an Anthony Edwards or a guy similar, right? Like, you're going to use him as a way to kind of try to slow down, Anthony Edwards, right? So it's just, you're using stand-ins, you're using decoys, you're using guys to just, again, kind of go through the day-to-day and work on different things. It's just, all teams do it. All teams do it. Every team uses a guy as like a star. It's just, or the Lakers, Bronny James was in the headline. They're trying to use Bronny James as like Anthony Edwards. So now people are, it's not what it's about. It's about just, again, putting reps, getting reps up, understanding, having guys that are capable of getting to spot A, B, C, and D. And that way you can kind of work on the things you need to work on to better defend them once the time comes for the playoffs. So it is. It's a simple little thing that doesn't need this craziness that I've seen these debates. Like, again, it's just straightforward as it sounds. Every team in the league is, the Clippers are using guys to simulate Jokic, right? Like, again, they don't have guys that, I saw a report that they're using Ben Simmons to simulate Jokic. Ben Simmons isn't Jokic. He can't shoot. He can't do any of those things, but he is a passer. He is a guy that, is big and long and do those things. So it makes sense. You put him on the block. You kind of run the actions and work on the things, and he's able to do some of that stuff. He's not going to be able to do everything, but he can do some of those things. So you can prep and get the reps in and do the things you want to do. So Ben Simmons being Jokic makes sense. Bronny James and Shake Milton being Anthony Edwards makes sense. Hope that explains. As always, this is a discussion. Pass question you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Feel what your thoughts? You agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.